Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Today, we have the great pleasure of welcoming actor, director, producer, and author, Mr. Bill Duke. Hi there.
Well, how are you today?
I am fantastic this beautiful day. How about you?
I'm blessed. Everything is good, thank you.
Yeah? Where are you tuning in from?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
Awesome. And I'm actually sitting in my home at Rancho Cucamonga.
Wow, you're having a good time then.
Oh yeah, I got a view of the mountains up here, and not that there's much on there, but it's still a great view. Beautiful day. We
Great.
appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. I'm really excited about it.
I'm really glad to be here, and thank you for having me, sincerely.
So we're here to talk about your new crime drama, No Sudden Move. Let's talk about that.
Well, it's directed by the great Steven Soderbergh and starring Don Cheadle, Matt Damon, some wonderful other people in it. It's about gangsterism in the 50s.
Wow.
And in the car industry and a lot of different elements. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of a gangster mystery thing. And I played the head of the Black gangster mob at those times. And it was really fun working with great people like Don, Matt, and Steven. It was fun.
Wow. So did you have, what was it like to work with Steven again?
This is my third time, you know, and it's, you know, he really is a detailed person. And so when he works with actors, he gives us an understanding of the character, then he just lets you do it. And because he trusts your skill, he trusts your relationship with him. And so it's like, the fact that he trusts you like that is really, it's a compliment, actually.
Yeah, that's great. So what led you to this project? It's Warner Brothers Pictures, and it's going to be airing on HBO Max in July, right?
July 1st.
July 1st. All right. Let's talk about what led you to the project.
Well, my agent told me about it, and then Steven and I talked, and that's really kind of how it went, you know. And once I knew Don Cheadle was in it and Matt Damon, it was like an honor.
And Ray's in it too, right? Ray Liotta's in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have a list in front. It's a whole list of stars in it.
Yeah, and who is it? Let's see. There's like all kinds of people. It's like amazing. Let's see. There's Benicio del Toro's in it.
Yes.
You said Matt Damon, Jon Hamm. Wow, Brandon Fraser. I mean, it just goes on and on.
Great people.
So did you guys have some fun times? Any little stories you could tell us about some behind the scenes fun jokes?
We had a great time, you know, and the thing, you know, one of the funniest people I've ever met is Don Cheadle, and that's amazing because he plays serious characters and stuff. But he is funny for real. He's always telling practical jokes and teasing people. And also, we were in the city of Detroit, which, if you haven't been to Detroit recently, they are totally renovating the whole place.
Are they?
Yeah, all of the old churches and buildings being renovated. Homeless are being taken off the street and put in places. It's just, and they're cleaning up the whole city. And it's a beautiful city. I had no idea Detroit was that beautiful.
Yeah, I had been there quite a long time ago, and it was sad to see how bad it did look. I just wondered if you had any challenges when you were filming there.
When I was filming there, when I was there a while ago, there were no real big challenges because it's like the film company took care of everything. But this time, no kind of challenges. I mean, it was fun working with those people, and the city supported us all the way. Yeah. It was, how can I say, a place where you really, you know, you didn't know that Canada was right across the river. You didn't, you know, it's like, how can I say, it worked out to be something that was a collaborative experience between the director, the actors, the writer, and everyone else. And one of the things about it that was great for me was that the writer, if you were on set and you did a scene, he would come up to you and say after the scene, "Are you comfortable with those words? Are you comfortable? Can I do something?" I mean, he collaborated with the actors to give them the best language and character that he possibly could. He didn't just give you the script and say, "Go away and do it." No, he was there to help you be the best you could, that doesn't always happen, you know? So it was wonderful.
That sounds awesome.
It was wonderful, it really was.
Wow, that must have made a difference for all of you actors,
Oh, yes.
doing your roles.
Because we were listened to.
Yeah.
It was a collaboration, and if if something had been said before, we were saying it again, we pointed it out, he would say, "Okay, let me change this line and give new information."
Now maybe that's the way it should be, right?
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Oh, Hollywood.
Hey, what can I tell you? Don't start me on that.
That'll be another whole Zoom interview.
That's a whole Zoom interview for days. Okay.
Oh my gosh. We will conclude on that one. I was just wondering, without giving away too much, can you share like your favorite scene?
There's a scene where I have to make a deal with Don Cheadle because I have a choice of either, because he was like a son to me, of either making amends,
okay,
or as my team behind me is saying, take him out.
Whoa, okay, say no more.
I have to make a decision, so.
Oh my gosh. So how did you do research to get into your character, of your gangster character?
I do a lot of research, it's like the period. I look at the clothes, the cars, how people spoke, the music, the clothing. I just like knowing as much as I can. And working with the wardrobe director on this and other people, they had really done their homework. And so when we were dressing my character and they knew that I'd done my research or whatever, it was a great collaboration. We just had fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the early 50s, that's gotta be great just to be able to. I love the background and looking at that kind of stuff too. My mind goes all over when I watch movies.
A totally different world, when I was doing it, I realized something and I was thinking, this is the 1954, I think it is. And I'm saying, there were no cell phones.
Oh, right.
There was no internet.
Oh my goodness.
There was no social media. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I can't. It's hard to imagine, right?
When I was a child, we used to go to the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing you would see at the movies is the news. It was amazing because, TV was just coming into play. And so you would see the news and then a person or a group would play music and then they would put the movie on.
Well, I'll be darned.
It was like going to a show or something.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Well, you're too young to understand, but it's okay.
I'm 61.
Yeah, but still, I'm saying.
So I wanted to know, what do you hope the audience will take away from the new movie, No Sudden Move?
I think they'll take away, information about a period that's not often spoken of, and this was based on some real events also, by the way.
Oh, good.
So it's like, it's going back into history, but it's also, and what Steven and his writers always do, and what's amazing to me is, even if he portrays a bad guy, right? He always infuses them with humanity. It's like, this guy did bad things, okay? But he shows you why he did it. And sometimes in showing the why he did it,
Yeah.
you hook into it because you say to yourself, if I was in that situation, maybe I would have done the same thing, you know? So it's like he has the ability to humanize all the characters in his films. And that was a great takeaway, because a lot of the horror films or action films, you don't really care about who dies.
Yeah, that's true.
And and it's a craft to be able to do that. I used to watch a program on HBO that I felt guilty about years ago called Dexter.
Yes. Oh my, yeah.
You remember
Right?
Dexter? This was a serial killer.
Yeah.
That you were rooting for because he was killing people worse than him.
What a writer, right? What a thing to write.
I think it was brilliant, genius, because I felt guilty rooting for him because he was a murderer, but I dislike more the people he was murdering.
Exactly. That was the thing about it. You didn't want to watch it and feel that way, but the writing was so well, it just dragged you into it. I was hooked,
That's right. I think that's brilliant writing. I really think it is.
Yeah, that's really good. That's something you said that I feel the same way about that show. That's great. So also when did you discover your passion for acting?
When did I discover it?
Yeah.
I speak about this in my autobiography, Bill Duke, 40 Years of Acting on stage, on screen and behind the camera, because I got hooked. I was at junior college at Dutchess Community College in Poughkeepsie, New York, where I was born. And Constance Kewen taught the speech and drama class. And every year she put up a play. And this year she's put up The Emperor Jones, which by Eugene O'Neill. And she said that I was going to do the leading role. I said, I can't do that. I don't know what you're talking. I never acted in my life. She said, if you want to pass the class, you got to do the role. So I did the role, and something snapped. You know how when you find something, but it hits you in a certain way that's positive. And I told my parents that I might want to be an actor. They said, you're out of your mind. What black actor? The only black actor really was Sidney Poitier and maybe a couple of more, but blacks in those days in film almost did not exist. And I never felt attractive, and I have dyslexia. And so I wrote in journals, and my feelings and poems and little plays, I wrote all the time in my journal.
Yeah.
And so when I went to BU, I got into Boston University for a scholarship. And because my parents said, be a writer or an English teacher because you're always writing. I took a Chaucer class, and I'd fallen asleep for the third time in my Chaucer class.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know if you ever took a Chaucer class.
No. I guess I never will. Thank you.
Well, no, he's a brilliant writer, but it's really long. I mean,
come on.
Paragraphs this long, and I felt so. My good friend Israel Hicks said, "Should go up to the drama department because a black director the first time on Broadway, Lloyd Richards up there. You should audition. You keep talking about acting." I said, "I'll never get in." He said, "Go up and try." I went up. I got in. And Lloyd Richards became my mentor. The next semester, and I'm glad there were no cell phones then, I was dancing across a ballet floor with tights. And I'm so glad no pictures were taken. And then I followed Lloyd Richards from BU to NYU School of the Arts. And he got me my first jobs at Naval Ensemble Company. And then I became his assistant and came out to Los Angeles on a picture called The Gold Watch for PBS about the internment camps during World War II. And I was going to go back to LA. He says, "No, stay here. There's something here for you." And so I did, and God bless him, he was right.
Yay, thank him for you.
Yes, thanks for
your great acting career.
Yes, thanks for Lloyd Richards.
So you have more than 40 years of experience on screen and behind the camera. What are you most proud of during your career?
I would say that I've been able to survive, not only in terms of career, but I've survived in terms of my mind. I haven't gone crazy. Maybe a little wacky sometimes, but I'm not crazy. My body, I'm grateful for still being healthy. I'm vegan sometimes 5 days a week, and then I eat a little bit of fish sometimes on the weekend.
Great.
And my spirit has survived through transcendental meditation. I meditate every single day. It keeps me sane. It takes away stress, because this is, as you know, a very stressful business. And when you're rejected, if you go for auditions or whatever it is, like say 2 or 3 times a week or whatever it is, and you're rejected, because the business of rejection, people tell you just to get over it, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
it's not that easy.
Yeah, try that sometimes, you know? Because you're not supposed to take it personally, but you do. So meditation cleanses the system of stress, helps with clarity, and gives you energy. So thank God I found transcendental meditation from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
Yeah, that sounds like something I need to do.
Hey, you would love it. You would love it.
I'll have to talk to you about how to do that. I need some of that.
You got it.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So you've done TV, movies, a writer, and a director. So what led you into becoming a director?
Well, I started out directing my own plays in New York because in theater. And I always was interested in film, but I was intimidated by the equipment, the size of the crews. I mean, it's just technically, you have to have a discipline and understand the craft of it. I got a part in a show called Palmerstown, USA, one of the lead roles, and we were on for a couple seasons. Then the show got canceled. I didn't work for 2 years. And I said, Bill, you better get over your fear of directing, because you got to survive in this business, and it's a roller coaster ride. So I applied for AFI, American Film Institute, and Tony Vellani was there, and I got in.
Wow.
And once I got in, I graduated with my master's and tried to get my first job, but nobody would give it to me. They say, I'll give you the second job once you prove yourself, not giving you your first job. And so I was depressed, and I went away to a meditation retreat to get over my depression. And my agent calls me and says, hey, Bill, David Jacobs from Knots Landing wants to come in and talk to him. So I did. The meeting lasted around 5 minutes. And so I then left, and I said, that was a lot of garbage. He didn't want me to direct anything. A week later, my agent calls me and says, David Jacobs wants you to direct an episode of Knots Landing. I called everybody I knew, celebrating. Those days, they give you 7 days of prep, 7 days of shoot. So after the 7th day, supposed to shoot the following Monday, and the producer came and said, Bill, it's a great pre-production. We were telling you going to be great by the other shows you've done. I said, what shows? Well, the shows on your reel. I said, no, I just got an AFI. He said, whoa. He goes into David Jacobs' office. David had mixed my box up with somebody else's. And that's how I got my first job.
Yay. Falcon Crest?
Yeah, Falcon Crest, Knots Landing, Hill Street Blues.
Wow. Great shows.
Those were some times. I mean, people looked out for me and helped me, and I'm so grateful for that, because there weren't a lot of Blacks directing, producing, or writing at that time. And I was one that was lucky to be supported and respected. And I am grateful to this day.
And we are too. Great shows.
Thank you.
Got hooked on those shows back in the day too.
Yes, those are great shows, weren't they? Dallas.
That's what we put them on. We taped them on our VCR. Folks, kids out there were things called VCRs. You remember that?
Do you remember the first cell phone?
I honestly do. And the reason why is because I was working for lawyers and they had them in a big case.
Remember how big the phone was?
Yes.
The big case.
They'd have it in the front seat of their car, took up the whole front seat of the car.
Yes. Was that insane or not?
And they're holding it like this, and the antenna. It had an antenna.
Yeah. We thought we were so cool. We would thought we were the coolest things on earth, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
And you had it on your side over here, and you're like, oh,
that's
everything's
right.
good.
That's right. It was insane. And now they're this big. They're this big now.
Yeah. Oh, people have them on their watch now, don't they? Don't they have them on their watch?
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the younger kids are going, I don't know what they're talking about.
Totally different time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, VCR days.
VCR, man.
My father's 92 years old and he still has a VCR and tapes his shows still to this day. I kid you not.
Tell him I said hello, okay?
I will. And if anybody's listening has a VCR they want to get rid of, please get in touch with me because my dad needs another VCR machine.
I still have cassette players.
Yes.
Remember cassettes?
Oh yeah, I have cassettes and he does too. And he also has a lot of 45s and 78s, I think. Are they called 78s?
Yes, 78s and 45s. Yes.
He has a whole Elvis collection.
God.
Imagine.
I love it.
He also has 8 tracks. He has an 8-track player and 8-track tapes. We are aging ourselves.
I was playing something, one of my records, I used to call them records.
Yeah, records.
On the player with the needle.
Yeah.
And one of my friends' little girl, who was like 5 years old, she was in the room. She looked at me like I was a Martian. She said, "What is that?" I said, "It's a record player." She said, "What is a record?"
Oh my gosh.
I had to tell her she had never experienced or seen anything like that in her life. Amazing.
Yep. And what's fun to tell the stories. I've got grandkids and one's 18 now, the other one's 11. And so the 11-year-old just freaks out when I get my albums out and he's like looking at me like, what are you doing? What is that? Frisbee? Yeah, that's my Frisbee.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Yes.
So when I put it on there and turn it on and get the needle and put it on, he's like, what are you doing? And it starts, and he's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. He really thought it was super cool though, And
they're coming back,
They're coming back.
A lot of DJs are using that,
Yes. I love the sound it makes. I can never get over that sound. Oh, it's wonderful.
Smell of it anyway.
Yeah, we're getting off topic, but
whole different.
Now listen, there's a question I have to ask you is how much fun did you have filming Predator? I loved you in that movie.
We were in the jungles of Puerto Vallarta. I say jungle, I'm talking like 45 minutes to an hour from the hotel.
Wow.
You had to drive up this mountainside. I mean, I'm talking about no guardrails, driving up and up miles and miles. And it was a brotherhood because we were forced to work together. We had Navy SEAL, I think, trainers that showed us how we should crawl on the ground and respond with our guns. So we trained, every morning. Arnold and the rest of the guys. First of all, Arnold bought out both ballrooms and had shipped in trucks from Los Angeles gyms. So both of the ballrooms were gyms. So they used to get up every morning. Say the call was 7:30 on the set, right?
Yeah.
They get up every morning and around 4 o'clock or 4:30, and they'd run for miles. After they ran, they would come back and work out an hour in the gym. Then they would go to breakfast and then go to the set. I did it for 1 week, and guess what? Never again. They called me a wimp. They called me a sissy. What is wrong with you? Come on. I said, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning no more. I'm sorry. And so, but also what happened was, the Predator you saw was not the original Predator, right?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, no. The original Predator was smaller, ambidextrous, and he flew through the trees and stuff with laser guns and stuff and shoot at you. And the actor who played that had to wear this big felt suit because they superimposed the special effects in post-production. So it was over 100 degrees in Port Vallarta. So he flew and flew and flew. After the third week, he had passed out twice due to dehydration. And so the producer came over to him and said, "You cannot pass out again. You're costing me time and money." The guy said, "I'm not passing out on purpose. I'm dehydrated." Producer, "I understand, but you cannot cost me time and money." Okay, another 2 weeks goes by, he falls out again. Producer says, "You are fired." That person was Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Wow.
His first job in America.
And he got fired. Oh my gosh, because they were making him go through 100 degree temperature and the suit and stuff. Oh my goodness. Good for him for hanging in.
That's right. He's a great actor and great people. Also, another story I'll tell you is true. The first week we were there, the craft service guy put netting around the food service place to keep the bugs out. But every time we got food, there was bugs in the food.
Oh.
And so the first week we said, "Take this junk back, we're not eating it." By week 2, it was called protein. Because there was no more food.
You didn't know you were filming Lost or Survivor already.
No something. It was an education. Can I put it that way? It was very educational.
Oh my God. So you just put hot sauce on top of the whatever bugs were there.
Yum, yum.
Oh, that's a great story. Oh,
it's the truth. It's the truth.
You heard it here, folks. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that one. That was a great one. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about Duke Media Entertainment. When did you create that?
I created that many, many years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I want to be able to produce things like, there are certain subject matters that I want to address. And so I've made documentaries, that through the Duke Media Company that deals with topics that I really am interested in putting out there that people aren't addressing. And documentaries are it's a great tool to talk about things that I think are important to talk about. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the main reasons I created the company. So, and I've enjoyed it.
And you also have a Duke Media Foundation. Explain that to us.
Well, if people want to join or donate, go to dukemediafoundation.org, dukemediafoundation.org. It's online. What I do is for the last 9 years or so, taught young people, high school students, media literacy and financial literacy. By media literacy, we introduce them to the jobs of the future, and we teach them the basic directing, skills, editing, writing, and all of that. But we also teach them new media. We were in the film and television in the era, and now we're in the media industry. What does it mean to you? What is Hulu, Crackle, Google, what does that all mean in terms of your future? Then we teach them financial literacy, because you may not believe this, there are people who make over $100 million and go broke. How can you make $100 million and go broke? Because you're taught how to spend money, but not how to use money. So we teach them the use of money. What is the FDIC? What's the Federal Reserve? What is banking? What is money? What is savings? What is debt? What is compound interest? What is credit? You know, how do you leverage money to your benefit? Because in our business, it's a roller coaster ride. You gotta be prepared for those dips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so a lot of young people, unfortunately, end up on the streets, homeless, or working in jobs they don't want to work because they have to survive in this business. It's a very competitive, difficult business, and if you don't understand the business of it, you're not going to survive.
That's an amazing thing to teach, finance. They should teach that too in high school anyways. I mean, our kids come out not knowing anything.
I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%.
It's just it's crazy. You know, I wish I'd learned all this stuff back when I was a kid.
Me too.
Right?
I swear, if I had known what I know now and what we're teaching, I made a lot of mistakes financially. And if I had known what I know now, I never would have made those mistakes. But I'm glad I made them because I learned from them. So, you know, so we're teaching kids that.
Oh, great. And so is it still the same social media for them to find out about your foundation?
Yes, if they go to dukemediafoundation.org,
okay,
and we're rebuilding our website right now, they'll find out what we're doing, how their kids can become part of it. They can support us financially, etc. So we are trying our best to keep it going. And it's something that I believe in. It's whatever my legacy is, I want it to be part of it that I gave back. I'm not saying I saved the world, but whatever you can do, because our children deserve hope.
Yes.
We have to leave them some hope. And right now, when you turn it, that's why I've developed my own network too. It's called Unite. And it's going to be up on the 10th. We're going to have the site up of June. And then our soft launch is going to be July, the first week in July. And I created it because I want to give our young people hope, because I can't look at the news very much because it's always negative. It's either COVID or it's the Capitol, we're assaulting the Capitol, or we're divided as people on race or politics, and there's bad news and wars. And there are 6 billion people on this planet. Wow. Around a little over 3 million are in wars and conflict, killing each other. But that's a good 5 billion something that are doing good things. So I want to point to who all these people are doing. I watch a show called CNN. What's it called? CNN Heroes.
Okay.
You ever watch that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
I'll have to watch it.
They go around the world and find people who are doing good.
Wow, okay.
In this country and other countries in the world. It's called CNN Heroes.
Awesome.
And getting nothing back for it because they're doing it from their souls and spirits and their love of people. And so my channel that I'm building is based on that also, because I want to show there's some good people doing good things in this world. There really, really are. So I want to show those people. And then I'm working on 2 books, my poetry book, which I'm a writer, poet, and that's coming out in the next month. And it's called, Works of the Invisible Man. And then
Great title.
Yes, thank you. Then I'm doing an animated book called The Journey, which really traces the journey of life itself that we all go through. And so I've been busy. I like what I do. I never want to stop. It's not work to me. It's like doing what I want to do.
Oh, we love that. Bill, I had a question about, you mentioned dyslexia. My older son has that. It doesn't seem to go away, and it's always been a struggle. How have you gotten to where you are having that, especially writing, reading scripts? Tell me that.
It's very difficult for me. I have to read a script at least 3 or 4 times before I totally get the whole vision of the characters, etc. Um, writing wise, it takes a lot of thought before, or I just vomit it out. I want it, then I edit it. But dyslexia makes you appear not too smart if you don't do so. So
yeah,
it's two sides of the brain. It's that which is impaired to a certain extent, but then another side is enhanced, your memory to a certain extent. And so when I was in high school, not to appear stupid, I memorized most of Roget's thesaurus.
I'll be darned.
So when I spoke, I used big words to make it appear that I was smart.
Wow.
But the thing is that dyslexia, it's a wobbling thing, it's this which inhibits you, but also part of your brain which gives you skills that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah, and it took until 5th grade for my son, for me to find somebody from UCLA, a woman to help my son see what you just explained, because it was such a struggle. And I hated that they just passed him through school, passed him along. And by the time he's in 5th grade, he's considered stupid. I mean,
right.
Don't you ever call my kid stupid.
That's exactly
and
right.
It was a battle, and
right.
he graduated with B's in high school,
yes.
From her helping him and our tutoring and learning what, like you just said, what is the good part and what can
That's
help
right.
you to overcome it.
Well, first of all, tell him I said hello and God bless him sincerely.
I will.
What dyslexia, and this is why your son's so successful, it gives you, can I say, a greater sense of comprehension. I mean, you're able to see the bigger picture. You can't always verbally express what you saw and understand, but in your head, you have a perspective of things that a lot of people don't have. And it allows you to move through that. Sometimes you can't express as eloquently as you would like things that you feel or see, but you see them, put it that way.
Thank you for that. Well, I want to tell all my viewers too, if you don't have HBO Max, you got to sign up for it, because his new show is coming out July 1st, and No Sudden Move. It's going to be a fascinating show, no doubt. Now, you have a red carpet. Does he have a red carpet coming up soon?
Yeah, we're in New York City. They're doing a screening of the film in red carpet. I think it's in June 18th and 19th in New York City.
Ah, I wish I could fly there.
Come on down. Yeah, it's going to be premiered there. And a lot of good people
awesome.
are coming, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be really
That's very good. Well, I'm glad that they're having a little bit, they're going to have a red carpet, being a little safe now. It's a little more opened. That would be great for all this time.
It's been the COVID has changed the way when we were on set, we were tested several times a day. It's like you felt protected because they were looking out for you.
Yeah.
And that helps, you know what I'm saying? Because when we were shooting, all the crew had to wear masks and every actor had to wear masks until the scene. Took the mask off, did the scene, put the mask back on.
I was going to ask you, oh, wow. So it really had to be COVID protection.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. They have what they call a COVID team.
Oh, I'll be darned.
Several people. Oh yeah, they come around and test you. You cannot just leave the set and go someplace and come back. No. Once you leave, you stay.
So it was different for you.
It was. You really had to understand. How can I say? Accept that this is the way it was. It's not that you're not hugging and smugging on actors, your fellow actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can maintain a certain distance.
Wow. Except
when you're in the scene, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You're tested several times a day.
So Don had to do his jokes with the mask on, huh?
Yeah. He kept them on, then he took them off. But it was like, it really a challenge, but you know, everybody met the challenge and things came out really well.
Yeah, we can't wait to see this amazing film.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
And your Unite Network is coming out, and your 2 new books. We'll make sure we put all that up so when our readers get to read this and see this, that they'll know about those as well.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any parting words for us, Bill?
I like quotes. Do you like quotes?
Love them. Give it to me.
I'm going to give you my 3 favorites.
Okay.
Number 1, aspire to inspire before you expire.
Wow.
Number 2, if a man does not seek humility, humility will seek the man. And the 3rd one, in your lifetime, you will never see a smaller package than a person wrapped up in themselves.
Oh my goodness, those are amazing.
Those are my 3 favorites.
May put a smile on my face, a tear in my eye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh my gosh, we so appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, sincerely. Thank you.
Thank you.